of 101 famous poems. She was a phantom of delight. By William Wordsworth. Spoken and with commentary by E. T. Hansen. She was a phantom of delight when first she gleamed upon my sight, a lovely apparition sent to be a moment's ornament. Her eyes as stars of twilight fair, like twilights too her dusky hair, but all things else about her drawn from Maytime and the cheerful dawn, a dancing shape, an image gay to haunt, to startle, and waylay. I saw her upon nearer view, a spirit, yet a woman too. Her household motions light and free, and step of virgin liberty, a countenance in which did meet sweet records, promises as sweet, a creature not too bright or good for human nature's daily food, for transient sorrows, simple wiles, praise, blame, love, kisses, tears, and smiles. And now I see, with eye serene, the very pulse of the machine, a being breathing thoughtful breath, a traveler between life and death, the reason firm, the temperate will, endurance, foresight, strength, and skill, a perfect woman, nobly planned, to warn, to comfort, and command. And yet a spirit still, and bright with something of angelic light. William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth, 1770 to 1850, was the poet who, with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, launched the Romantic Age in English literature when they published lyrical ballads together in 1798. Wordsworth was born in Cockermouth, Cumberland. His father was a lawyer, and of his 4 siblings, his sister Dorothy was also a poet and influenced his work. In college and later in life, Wordsworth spent his holidays on extensive walking tours in Germany, Italy, Switzerland, and France, sometimes with Dorothy and Coleridge. In revolutionary France, he fell in love with the Revolution and with a woman named Annette Vallon, with whom he fathered a daughter, but Annette and he never married. Instead, he returned to England and married his childhood friend Mary Hutchinson, who bore him 5 children. He met Samuel Taylor Coleridge in Somerset, and the two poets became lifelong friends. In his preface to their lyrical ballads, Wordsworth wrote his famous definition of poetry as the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. It takes its origin from emotion recollected in tranquility. He worked for the government as distributor of stamps for Westmoreland and received an honorary doctorate in civil law by the University of Oxford. 7 years before his death, Wordsworth was named Poet Laureate of England, an honor he only accepted on the condition that he have no duties, and thus became England's only Poet Laureate who never wrote any official verses. and why a woman is always beautiful. I don't know how it is with women looking at men, but I do know that when men look at women, they don't just see a woman. From the very beginning, there was something in us, probably hormones, that keeps us from seeing women as normal human beings just like us. We look at them and we don't see the faults, the failings, the hang-ups, the little inadequacies, the grand illusions and general limited intelligence we see in ourselves. We see better creatures, divine creatures even. We see beings who frustrate and annoy us, who even hurt us more than they know. But first and foremost, we see creatures that were not born of this earth. Here are the 7 stages of men looking at women. It starts out when we are kids. Without being able to say why, we understand that girls are not quite right, not as they should be, which is to say, not like us boys. This puzzling contradiction, to all we know, ignites our scientific interest to discover the truth behind the facade, and we do this by poking them, pulling their hair, and generally making fun of them. Boyhood is when men are at their manliest. They believe without question that they are the center of the universe, and girls are the aliens. We don't think of girls as beautiful yet. Only later, looking back, do we recognize the primal beauty of the girl, a beauty that will never come again. It is the beauty that comes from the sheer joy of living. Then we reach puberty, and overnight girls disappear as if they had never existed, and in their places suddenly stand awe-inspiring, slightly frightening, angelic wraiths. Women like saying about men that we only want sex and we only see women as sexual objects, but the opposite is true. For no logical reason, we now believe women are always innocent, always good, always intelligent, always insightful, even wise, and always morally superior to men. When a man sees a beautiful woman walk past, the more beautiful she is, the more intelligent and spiritual he assumes her to be. And bit by bit, we are losing our place as the center of the universe. In our minds, everything still revolves around us, but somehow those angelic beings out there still manage to outshine us. The beauty of women at this time is not only the beauty of youth and physical blossoming, it is the mystery of their spiritual aura. Then there is the adventurous woman. Young yet independent, her self-confidence growing, she embraces life with arms outstretched, grinning and laughing, skipping and running. This nova of energy, this explosion of lust for life is overpowering. This is the woman we men just have to catch, and we try our best. It's usually not enough. Women are generally faster and smarter than men in this stage, but we try. And as we run after them and fall on our faces again and again, we notice our own powerlessness and begin to doubt the basic assumption that we are the center of the universe. Still, we can't help chasing them. It's the sexuality, sure. It's the hormones, of course. But it's also the promise of exploding, exciting, inspiring lust for life that makes women in this phase so beautiful. Then we manage to capture one of these unearthly creatures and clip its wings. Very soon, achingly soon, reality sets in and we begin to realize, with surprise and pain, that they are just as human as we are, damaged and frail and with their own hopes and dreams and hang-ups and fears and no longer free. We men struggle in this phase to reconcile everything we know about women, aliens from another planet, morally superior angels, laughing prizes, skipping and running before us to be captured, with the difficulties of dealing with this person in our home. It's almost as if we married, a human being. We feel duped because everything we know about human beings, based on our own experiences with ourselves, has warned us against ever trying to live with one, and yet here we are. And with a sinking in our hearts, we realize that we may have to share the center of the universe with her. But even now, in our disillusionment, we see the beauty, a heroic beauty as they fight for a relationship and love they have dedicated themselves to far beyond the call of duty. Then comes motherhood, and we men are horrified to see our lovers mutate into biological machines, focused no longer on us, but on their child. Now we don't only have to deal with a complex human being, but with the fact that we have become a footnote, a function, a foot soldier in the life of someone else. And the realization that we are not the center of the universe at all hits us with the force of a wooden mallet. And still, when we look at women, as they drift ever further from us, we see beauty. The beauty of their capacity to renew human life, and the unapologetically animalistic dedication to doing that. And not only that, but also their beauty reflected in the beauty of a child. Then the children leave the house, and women, no longer mothers, no longer life-giving miracles, deflate back down to human size, like men have always been, with all the frailty, the sagging and breathlessness, the self-doubt and bewilderment that goes with it. All of a sudden, women find they have to redefine who they are, seek new interests, new friends, new jobs, and new life, just like the men beside them have been doing all this time. But the new life they seek is no longer alien, angelic, or even female. It's just normal life. That is when we men see women closest to what they really are. Just like us, and just like us, they too are not the center of the universe. This is the time when women know less than any other time in their life that they are beautiful. It is the beauty of the tired yet heroic explorer searching for a new life, the wayward hunter undaunted in her search for a new self. It is the beauty of the in-between, the miracle of self-renewal, the painful yet fascinating exquisiteness of one thing of beauty changing into another thing of beauty. And at last there is old age. This is the phase women have feared all their lives, and yet for all the physical beauty they lose, they have gained spiritual beauty. This is when they recapture all the mysterious otherness of their youth. This is when they finally turn experience into wisdom, much like they promised when they were young, but this time the wisdom is real. Because the living was real, the feeling and growing and loving was real, and though neither women nor men are the center of the universe any longer, they have grown to become worlds unto themselves, created by a life fully lived. And now they are self-sufficient planets orbiting each other in a chaos of jostling, bumping, touching, circling, and endlessly beautiful lives. And through all that, through all those frightening, changing phases, they are always beautiful.